Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. Today we're talking about rocks. I can't believe I'm so excited about rocks, but for one of my group plantings, what I've got under this tarpaulin is going to be absolutely amazing. First of all though, I want to show you a couple of aquatic rocks that I purchased. I got them for what I think is a really good price, and they're going to make really interesting pieces, so I'll zoom in and show you a bit closer what I've got. What we've got here is a lovely piece of limestone. Look at the holes going through this, it's great. And my plan for this is to put this in some kind of pot and then grow one main tree here, possibly a couple of smaller trees, and develop like a canopy over the top. I'm not sure what trees to use yet, possibly hawthorn, possibly Kojo no Mai, but definitely some potential to that. I think it's gorgeous. This rock's got some real good interest to it. It's got lots of cragginess and holes and interest. It's nice and solid, but what drew me to this one is the potential to create some kind of overhanging, sort of almost like precipice. So it could go something like this, and I could have a tree sort of hanging over the edge, almost like some kind of cascade, possibly my cascading hawthorn. You know, if I could tie this into the pot, something like that, there, say it was like that, and that had my hawthorn on the top cascading over the edge, how cool would that look? We're now back to this pile of rocks under the tarp, and what I think is quite a funny story. I was telling my dad yesterday about my plans for purchasing some rocks to create some sort of landscapes, and what I'd really like to do is a hawthorn planting which uses limestone to sort of look like a limestone pavement from Yorkshire. And I was telling my dad, and he says, "Have you seen my collection of limestone?" I was like, "What?" He said, "Oh yeah, I've been collecting interesting limestone and storing it under a tarpaulin in my garden." So that's what we're going to check out now. I've got my dad here because I want to ask him, why have you collected all this limestone?
It's gorgeous, and I knew it'd come in handy somewhere
For
sometime.
What? How long have you been collecting it for?
About 10 years. I thought
10 years?
Maybe a rockery, maybe I could build a little wall with it.
And where have you got it from?
Well, around here and just different places really. It was a lot of it was around this house, and they'd used it for decoration, little pieces of stone.
So you've just kept it in one pile?
Yeah, but you couldn't throw it away, it's gorgeous. And I thought I'll save it. And let's face it couldn't go to a better home, could it?
Exactly, exactly. Now I'm building this up, so I know you're expecting something good, so let's take a look and see what I've got. Cheers, Dad. So let's take a look and see what we've got under here. Woohoo! Nice. Now you're probably thinking, what you're going on about, but I'll show you exactly what I mean. Look at this. How is that for a gorgeous piece of stone? Now, to be fair, this is not the lightest rock in the world. It's pretty considerable. But let's take a look at that. As I rotate this round, I love these textures, particularly here where you've got these cracks through the rock. And look at that there, as it runs straight through. There's so much potential, and this top part is just really, really stunning. This next one is more in line with my ideas of the limestone pavement, and it's another beauty. In the summer, I spent a few days with friends doing some photography in the Peak District, and this reminds me of the sort of Derbyshire outcrops of rock. They're just like this. It's not highly textured and detailed, this, but I love the geometric shape of it, and I can just imagine a tree growing maybe out from the side here It'd be quite a minimalist plant in this. It's almost, you know, a study in the rock. But from this side here, you got these beautiful, almost brick-like textures and patterns and shapes. And I don't know, I can just imagine myself stood on the top of there with my camera. This is another not insignificant rock. You know, it's got a fair bit of weight to it, but the shape and the textures on the face of this, and there's a natural little hollow here. I mean, I could put a tree there, roots coming down, or I could just plant a tree here and leave this bit as just for the beauty of the rock. I mean, I love it. Let's go close in. Look at the textures on that. Absolutely amazing. You can't recreate this. Only nature can produce this kind of amazing detail, and it goes all the way around. So this is one that I just can't break up. No chance. This has to stay as one complete piece and go into a large pot. I think I might have to make a pot for this or something, but I'm definitely creating some kind of landscape using this rock because I just think it's too good not to. Right, we'll just lift it across and just gently.
You put yours in first, yeah?
Yep.
And put it on the turntable.
Yep.
Never feel it.
Looks pretty good to me. Wow, how good does that look in this pot? Just imagine that with the base filled out with some bonsai soil, some moss growing around, and now that I've got it in this position, I'm thinking possibly a juniper here and a small juniper on the top. Just the two of them, maybe another small one here, so maybe three. I could use hawthorn, but I'm thinking juniper for this, Chinese juniper. I've got a few, and that could work really well. So this pot is definitely for this. I mean, I couldn't have had it measured better. It just fits perfectly. Woo! If you want to see this get planted up and you're new to my channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe. When I talk about limestone pavement, these are the kind of lines that I love. It just reminds me of walking in the Lake District or over in Yorkshire. And again, this is a much smaller piece, but this could be really nice for a sort of root over rock. And I've got a bigger one next to it. One of the drawbacks of this kind of beautiful rock is eventually over the years, freeze thaw gets into the cracks and it tears them apart. It happens in nature. And as I was moving this one, I've noticed it's fracturing apart. It's off the turntable now, so I can just pull that, and you see it's coming to pieces like that, which is fine. They won't be much use, but these pieces on their own will now be a bit more practical, not so heavy, and I could possibly combine these into one large pot, maybe something like that, or maybe just use them on their own. But I do like this piece. I'm not going to go through any more rocks now. My shoulder's giving me a bit of jip, and I've given you a real flavour of what they look like. There's some more really interesting rocks down below. I can see them, so I'll be coming back to these rocks in the future, but for now I'm just really inspired by that long one and the possibilities. My brain's working, what trees should I use, and I can't wait to put that together in the spring. So as always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.